Whenever a major actor departs a show, there are bound to be some shakeups the next season, but I don't think anyone expected that crazy approach that The Resident took to push their story forward. So, what can we expect? We have The Resident's confusing time jumps plus some other details about the new season coming at you right now, so stay tuned. What caused all this? When the season 4 finale premiered a while back, fans were surprised at just how lacking in drama it was. From the birth of Nick and Conrad's baby girl going off without a hitch, to a pretty standard episode. Many were hoping that season 5 would get started with a bang. Nick's actor, however, Emily VanCamp, has decided to move on and focus on other things, so she'll not be returning for season 5. Which is why, after killing off her character, the showrunner decided that instead of spending the whole season mourning her, The Resident is deciding instead to leap forward in time a bit. So how does that work? They kill her off? Yes, which is so weird if you end up watching the premiere right after watching the previous season's finale. The show has largely decided to keep Nick in by using old footage and camera tricks, but it seems like the only payoff for all of this is to kill off her character after maybe the most positive scene finale in recent memory. It's definitely strange to watch, but I guess that was the only way the writers could explain why a new mother like Nick would just get up and leave her newborn baby and husband. The whole thing really encroaches on the immersion though, and so don't expect to buy it when you watch it. Just hope that the time jump allows us to move on with the real season 5 drama. The time jump explained. If you aren't caught up on the show yet and want to avoid spoilers, now is your chance. But in episode 5 of the new season, the show decided to skip ahead a bit. The show did something kinda rare in its genre, and decided to jump ahead 3 years into the future in an attempt to speed along the whole losing a loved one arc that apparently the show doesn't want to have. This decision could have been made to try and minimize the absence of Emily's character as much as possible, since I doubt the show wants to spend an entire season focusing on a character that isn't even there anymore. Still though, how are fans reacting to the whole thing? Fans are confused. I wouldn't go so far as to say that fans are livid, because I think a lot of them understand that this isn't the most ideal situation to be in anyway, and decided to give the writers a break. Even so, it's hard to deny that the show seems like it's going off the rails a bit, especially since this could be the last time we're gonna see these characters, and fans just want a proper send-off. It may be too early to call this decision a mistake, but it definitely has fans praying for a proper ending to their beloved show. Is this the end? You may have noticed me talking about this being a send-off and a goodbye a few times in this video, and that's because rumors have been swirling that this is going to be the final season of the show, ever since Emily announced she won't be returning to the show. The medical drama has a few positives going for it though, like for one, how popular it is with its genre. Medical dramas don't always retain their audience, but it's very possible that the show does come back for a 6th season, even if it probably won't be guaranteed until the network gets a look at the numbers for the 5th one first. Brace for more departures. The Resident is going through a period of change right now, but that's not always a bad thing. Judging by how many actors are seemingly leaving the show after its pretty solid run the last few years, this could just be a result of The Resident doing well enough to help other actors get into bigger roles, and not a sign that things are running out of steam. Regardless of the season though, brace for changes moving forward, as along with Nick, fans will also have to deal with Dr. Barrett Kane being far less commonly used this season, as actor Morris Chestnut has been offered a part in an upcoming show on Fox called Our Kind of People, that is set to release this fall. It seems like the key for The Resident to keep up a solid run of form will be expanding on smaller characters this season, and hoping that one or two of them will be able to fill the hole left in the show by a slew of exits in season 4. Will Conrad get back out there? Yes, he will. And so, if you're one of the people excited to see who Conrad ends up with, maybe the time jump wasn't such a bad thing after all. I doubt that without the big season 5 shakeup, we would have been able to see Conrad fall in love again for at least another season. So at least now, we won't have to put up with a storyline in stasis. The showrunner has talked about a late season storyline where Conrad gets back out there into the dating game. And so, it's possible we have already met the person even. At least we won't have to wait long to find out. How will other storylines be affected? Fortunately, it doesn't really seem like the other storylines will be affected much at all by the time jump, since most of the storylines were already close to wrapping up by the time season 5 came rolling around. It is interesting to see where some characters wound up without having to watch every step along the way. But the good news is that this shouldn't keep new fans from jumping into the show, something that can be a problem when big shakeups like this happen. There is a solid chance that this could be a breath of new life that the show needed in the first place. And so, here's hoping that forced decision turned out to be great news for the show. New faces joining the show. Just last week, it was announced that Anisha Joshi will be joining the Fox medical drama, which is good news for the show, as new faces are always appreciated in times of transition. I mean, just look at Grey's Anatomy for proof of that. The Resident will for sure bolster the lineup from within as well, and I'm sure we'll upgrade some minor characters, but it's always nice to see how a new character will interact with the main cast. And so I have high hopes for this edition, and we will see if even more names are signed onto the new season soon. Will there be stakes to the jump? On top of the potential romance that is in Conrad's future, there are also going to be less positive moments as well, as you could probably expect. If you're worried that the jump would erase the stakes established across the show, don't worry, because the showrunner has teased that the cast will experience regrets as the choices they made before and during the time jump will come back to haunt some of them. While it is currently unclear what this could mean, I for one am really excited that it looks like the show is not going to be playing this season safely. Why isn't Conrad still working at Chastain Hospital? Fans were scared that Conrad might be leaving them too when they found out that he isn't working at Chastain Hospital anymore. anymore, as it's hard to imagine Conrad Hawkins anywhere else at this point. But Conrad has found himself changing lanes in season 5 and is now working some private practice instead. Conrad didn't make the decisions because he wanted a glitzier lifestyle though, and actually chose it because the working environment helps him better see his family since he is a single father now. If you are worried we have seen the last of Conrad at Chastain, however, I would say to put those fears aside, since he seems pretty nostalgic when he returns there to help a patient. I would bet money that Conrad ends up working there again by the end of the season. What could season 6 look like? While we are still in the midst of season 5, it's hard not to imagine if the cast and crew can keep this going for another season, and continue to explore the very different feeling of the Resident show. If we get a new season, which looks more and more likely every day, I would think we would continue to explore the fallout of the time jump, as well as beginning to move forward with the story and start to build a foundation in the new time period. As much as the writers are probably bummed about the jarring start to the season, I'm sure they just want to move on with the show and have dwelled on its past for long enough. And that's all for our video today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video and want to see more just like it. That's all for me, guys. See ya!